I'm currently in a battle with productivity, and strangely enough, this video that I've been so excited to make is actually about my whole philosophy about approaching how I get everything done that I get done in my life. It's basically my number one productivity hack, and I've been having a really hard time mapping out how to make this video because it feels so important to do it at amazing production value. And I was delaying it, ironically enough. So I figured I should just sit down and talk to you straight, because I truly believe that this will be helpful for those that are struggling to stay motivated, that are having a hard time being productive in their life, that maybe have all these big goals and aren't sure how to start doing the work to get there. I almost didn't become a YouTuber. I had been delaying the start for years. I want to share with you what big breakthrough I've had in my life in the paradigm that's kind of shaped my approach to staying mentally healthy, making sure that I'm in a good place in my mind and my soul, but also so that way I can get a lot of the things done that I deeply care about. There seems to be this paradox with creatives or people who hope to make things, or entrepreneurs, or even people that just want to improve their lives, where they have these great ideas and ideals about how different ways that things could go and how they can make things better. And yet following through with the action is often really, really tough, and staying motivated in the long term. It's often very easy to start something, but seeing it all the way through to completion is extremely challenging. Initially, when I was confronted with this, I tried to overcome it with tons of tactics. And this was kind of during the golden era of productivity blogging. And I would just digest and read so many blogs and tips and tricks for productivity systems. But after reading so many productivity books and so many articles and watching so many videos and so many getting things done systems and to-do lists and ways to manage my time and Pomodoro techniques and all this stuff, I was still having a really hard time with the framework and the way that I was approaching actually staying motivated. So what if I had the most brilliant task managing system? If I couldn't stay motivated, how am I going to accomplish what's important to me? And just being frank with you, 5 years ago, I was not in a good place. It's not like this doom and gloom story, but for me, life was great. The opportunities in front of me just felt endless. And yet deep down, I was unsettled about not accomplishing what I felt I really could do. I was disappointed with my lack of output versus these ideas I was having in my head about what I could accomplish. And one of my professors at the time kind of said this phrase that really stood out to me. And he was saying, look at what you spend your money on, and I will show you what you love. And we were all college students, and we were kind of just like laughing, like, yeah, what money? We don't have much money. We're not spending much money. And he said another way to look at it is, look at where you spend all your time, and I will show you what you love. And at this point in my life, I looked at what I'd been spending my time on, and I was so thoroughly disappointed, because that showed me truly what my heart loved and desired. It just amounted to not much of anything that was important to me. So I had this problem. I wasn't being the best version of myself, and I knew it. And in my head, I was telling myself this narrative that I had the capacity to be that kind of person, that I had the drive to do it, but I wasn't following through. And that's where I opened up one book. Strongly recommend it. There's one thought, one quote, one idea that's come out to me. I've read this 5 years ago, and I think about it almost every week. And that is, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. I often lived in the mindset that one day I'll wake up motivated enough to do the excellence that I dreamed I could do. 1 week, 1 month, 1 year was gonna be the year that I could finally start achieving these things and start making progress. And the shift for me has been to acknowledge the journey towards excellence, towards success, happens by building habits into your life that allow you to make progress at incremental levels, one at a time. And another quote, bear with me, that kind of lit the match to the fire that was these past 3 years of all the fuel that had been building up and kind of set everything forward finally, was the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. I remember coming across that quote and going, yeah, I've delayed long enough. I need to start doing small action to build towards this bigger result I see down the road. And at first I only committed to making 4 videos in 2 months, and I shared them privately with my small community. And after that, I started making videos online, and I needed it to be a part of my habits if I was going to do it. I knew if I left it up to just making excellent videos, which was my vision, I would delay, I would procrastinate, I wouldn't accomplish it. I needed it to be a part of my weekly routine. So I started making videos every week. And so now let me tie this all together with the current fitness challenge that I'm doing, that we are in week 5 of. At the end of last year, I knew that something needed to change. I try my best to listen to myself and how my mental health is doing. And I noticed about mid-year that it wasn't going as well as it could be. And into the fall, it became pretty apparent that I needed to make some lifestyle shifts because my mental health was not doing fantastic. And I like my mental health to be doing fantastic. And one of the big pieces I knew was missing in my life was this physical routine of keeping my body healthy. I realized that this whole starting fitness thing, it's never going to feel like there's enough time for it. And I just pictured one day I would just make the decision and I would be there. And that's where I just had to wake up to my own philosophy, which is excellence is a habit. It's not something that I just wake up and do someday randomly. It's an accumulation of small actions over time. And I personally love having tangible physical objects to remind me of my goals and how I plan to go about them and just my ideal philosophies. And when I was trying to come up with what's something physical that I could use to keep me motivated on this challenge, just like something that I could hold, let's make this awesome. So I reached out to my buddy Jordan, the same guy who did the Life's Better When You Make Stuff design. Here's his Instagram handle. Go check out his work. It's phenomenal. But I was like, Jordan, can you help me turn this quote into a physical object, into a t-shirt? And he loved the idea. And so that's where this wonderful excellence is not an act, but a habit design came from. And on the back, it says, we are what we repeatedly do. And then it says, #RunWithNiStat. I just wanted this for myself. I wanted this as a reminder that I could wear when I am getting ready to go run, so I can have this like tangible reminder. But I also didn't want this challenge to just be about me accomplishing my own goals. I so desperately want to motivate and help kick you in the butt so that way you start making your days count, so you can make incremental progress on what matters to you. And so that's why it's kind of ridiculous, but I went all out on this. This is not a hard sell, but I put these on the store. You can go grab them if you want them. I'm not sure if you guys are resonating with the idea, but for me, I just love this approach to life. Instead of putting so much pressure on ourselves to show up just at one time and kill it, how about we just make incremental progress? Drop your comments down below if this resonated with you at all. I'd love to hear from you. This whole connection thing and public accountability has been so motivating for me. So thank you. I can't thank you enough for your involvement. Even just leaving comments, it's so encouraging. Week 5 went great. Here are the runs that I went on this week. I'm excited for the next week of running. We got to kick things up a bit. But that's going to be it for this update. Catch you in the next video. And remember, life's better when you make stuff. Peace.